Hello, this is Heather, the pattern designer at Change Path Crochet. In this video, I'd like to show you how to do the Catherine wheel stitch, which looks like this. And I'm going to modify it a little bit from how you might have seen it in other videos. So this is how other videos tell you to do it. It's a little bit faster than the way I'm going to do it, but you can see that there are a bunch of these gaping holes in the regular way. And I don't really want those because I designed this to make a bag and I didn't want holes in my bag. So I'm going to show you how to do a modified Catherine wheel stitch that doesn't have all these big gaps. Okay, so it will look more like this. See, no big gaps. Okay, so I'm going to start with one color with a slip knot. And you want to chain in multiples of 8 plus 2 more chains. So I'll go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 24. And I'll add 2 more at the end. And that's because I want to add an extra single crochet, as you'll see. So I've got the extra single crochet plus the extra chain to get me to the next stitch. Okay, so multiple of 8 plus 2, and I'm going to single crochet in the second chain and single crochet in the next one. And row 1 here is different from the rest of the rows, as you'll see. And the reason I do that is so we don't have too many stitches in any one chain. Otherwise it gets warped a little bit. So we've got chain 2 or single crochet 2. And then I'm going to single crochet 2 together. So pull up a loop and then pull up a loop through the next chain. So I have 3 and then yarn over and pull through 2. So that was a single crochet 2 together. I'm going to do 5 double crochets in the next chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then find the next chain. I'm going to do 2 single crochets together across the next 2 chains. So pull up a loop, pull up a loop through the next chain. So there's 3, yarn over and pull through 2. And then single crochet in the next 3 chains. And depending on the yarn you're using, it will kind of wind up a little here because it's trying to twist, but as soon as you do the other rows, it'll flatten out. So 3 single crochets, and then repeat this pattern from this 2 single crochets together. So 2 single crochets together, 5 double crochets in the next chain. Okay, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Single crochet 2 together across the next 2 chains. 3 single crochets. And then we'll repeat that one more time. So single crochet 2 together, 5 double crochets, single crochet 2 together across the next 2 chains, and then 2 single crochets in the next and last 2 chains. There we go. So you start with 2 single crochets, end with 2 single crochets so that it's even there. Okay. So that's row 1. And now I'm going to change colors. And in fact, I'm going to take out the last loop because I want that to be the next color. And I like to join with a slip knot. Just makes things a little more secure. So put the slip knot of the new color on and pull that through. And I'm going to leave the oatmeal color here because I'll need it later. So you can just carry it up the side when you're changing colors. Okay, so for row 2, I want to chain 3 and turn. That's out of my way a little bit. Now, the first thing I'm going to do to reduce a big gap is to connect this chain 3 to the next stitch that I'm going to do. So to do that, I'm going to insert my hook through the second chain and pull up a loop. And this acts like the yarn over when you do a double crochet. So then I want to go in the next stitch, which is not the first one because we've got the chain here. So not this stitch, but the next one. Insert my hook there and pull up a loop. So now I have 3, yarn over and pull through 2. And then I also want to do basically 4 together, 1, 2, 3, and then plus the one I've got there. So I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So now I have 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So I have 4. And then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4 on the hook and chain 1. So this is half of what I'm calling a valley because we only have room for half right there. So after the chain 1, I want to slip stitch in the side here of this double crochet stitch. So I'm going to put my hook through 2 loops here that are at the top and pull up a loop. And then in this same stitch, where this one is joined here, I'm going to do a single crochet. And that will mean that we don't have a gap here. So now I'm going to single crochet in the next 3 single crochet or double crochets across the top of that hill. And now we're going to make a whole valley here to fill up this space. So to do that, I'm going to chain 2. And again, I want to connect this chain 2 so that there's not going to be a big gap. So I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain and pull up a loop. And then insert my hook in the next stitch here and pull up a loop. And yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And now I have 2 on my hook, and I'm going to continue with a DC 7 together. So yarn over, insert my hook, and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, keep those loops on my hook and keep going, yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4 more times. Till it feels like you have too many loops on your hook. But you actually have 8. You can see I have 8 here. So yarn over and then pull through all 8. And then chain 1 to hold that all together. Then I'm going to do like I did over here. You can see this is half of this. So I did my chain 1. I'm going to slip stitch into the top / side here of this stitch through 2 loops and pull that through. Single crochet in this same stitch, which was the last double crochet of your DC 7 together. So single crochet there. Again, that fills in a gap. And then we're going to start this pattern over again, where we do the 3 single crochets at the top of the hill. And then the valley again. Chain 2. Put your hook through the second chain and pull up a loop. That's the first yarn over for your DC 7 together. So I'm going to insert my hook through the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and then do that 6 more times. And 1 more. Again, I should have 8, and I do. Yarn over and pull through all 8. Chain 1. Slip stitch into the side of that stitch. Single crochet in the same spot where they're the next single crochet where this stitch already was in. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And now we want to do only the first half here of the valley. So I'm going to do chain 2, insert my hook and pull up a loop in the second chain, insert my hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, insert to the next one, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that 2 more times till you're at the end. That's the last stitch of the row. So I should have 5 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 5. Okay, so that is row 2. I'm going to keep the same color for row 3. So starting from here, chain 3 and turn. And you can see there's a little loop here on the side. That's like the center of this circle that we're, just like over here, we've got the center. This one on the end is the center. So I'm going to do 2 double crochets in that center. And then I don't want there to still be a gap if I made 1 more. So the next double crochet I'm going to connect to these 2 chains that are right here. So you can see here, you got, this is the top of the DC 7 together, or like 4 here. But then we have that chain 2. So that's what we want to connect to. So I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook back in the center and pull up a loop. And then, while I still have 3 loops on my hook here, I'm going to go through this first chain here, stick my hook through there, and just pull a loop through that and the next, and the 2 loops there. So now I have 2. I'm going to insert my hook in the next chain right here and do the same thing, yarn over and pull through that and the next 2 loops. And what that does is connect this double crochet that I just made to that chain that we made going the other direction. And now there's not a big gap. See? So now I'm going to single crochet in the next 3 single crochets. And now we're going to make a hill to go over the valley. So we complete the circle. And again, we want to connect this next double crochet to this stitch right here. So the way we're going to do that is insert your hook in the next single crochet and pull up a loop. And then insert your hook in the next chain. And that's 2 loops there you can do. Actually, it's not a chain, it's a slip stitch. Okay, pull up a loop. And then insert your hook in the center of the circle and pull up a loop. So you have 4 loops on your hook. You want those to be kind of tight on there. So now I'm going to make a double crochet with these loops by doing yarn over and pull through 2. So now I have 3 on my hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So now you have this double crochet connected to the one below it. No gap. So now we're going to do 5 regular double crochets in this center. But I need, this was a 7, DC 7 together, so I want 7 on top to match it. So now I have this 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next one is going to be just like we did over here, connecting it to this chain 2 right here. These 2 loops, that's what you want to connect to. So again, I'm going to yarn over and insert my hook in the center and pull up a loop. And before I do anything else, I'm going to stick my hook through this next chain and then pull a loop through that and the next 2 loops. So now I have 2 on my hook. Insert my hook through the next chain and pull it through a loop and then through the next 2. And that connects just like that. So now I can repeat that same pattern starting with the 3 single crochets. We're going to connect a double crochet to these 3 stitches here by pulling up a loop in each of them. So you should end with a loop coming out of the center. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. So there we go. That's 1 double crochet, and then I've got 5 more to make before connecting the last one, the 7th one. One more here. Oops. Okay, so that's 5, and then I need to sort of shove them over a little bit here. So now I'm going to connect the last one again to these 2 chains right here. So yarn over, insert my hook in the center, then pull up a loop, insert into the next chain, and pull a loop through that and the next two loops. And with 2 left on my hook, I'm going to insert it in the next chain, pull up a loop, and then pull that through the next 2 loops. So now I only have 1 loop on my hook. That finishes up the hill. And so I'm going to finish up here with 3 single crochets. Now I only need to do half of a hill. So I'm going to connect these next 3 stitches to the center, which is the one right here. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3. And then I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the center. And then we have this stitch right here, which is that DC4 together. And so I'm going to double crochet in that stitch. So there's something on top of there. And we're not going to stitch into this chain 3 here, because I tried that and it doesn't work. So once you put a border on here, it'll be nice and flat. But so there we go. That's row 3. And again, this is where I wanted to change my color. So instead of that last loop being pink, I want it to be the oatmeal color. And I don't need pink anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut that off. You would keep it there and keep pulling it up the side, just so you know. I'm just moving it for the sake of this demo. I don't need it. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that oatmeal up the side and pull a loop through as the last loop of that double crochet. And that's how you change the color. And then when you come back and do a border on here, you just crochet right on top of it and you won't see it. Okay, so for row 4, I'm going to chain 1 and turn. So I need to do the 2 single crochets, 2 just like we have at the end of row 1. So we kind of want to match that. And now we need to do a valley. So just like before, chain 2, insert your hook in the second chain and pull up a loop. Insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2, and that's your first double crochet of the DC7 together. So yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, and we'll keep doing that 5 more times until we have all 7. Oop. Pulled through too many there. Okay. Again, I should have 8 loops on my hook before I finish that off, and I do. So yarn over and pull through all 8 loops and chain 1. Slip stitch in the side of this last double crochet through the 2 loops. Single crochet in the same stitch that this last double crochet was in. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches on top of the hill. Now we'll do another valley. Chain 2, insert your hook in the second chain and pull up a loop. Insert your hook in the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Again, we'll do 6 more of these. So we have a DC 7 together. It gets a little hard to do that when you have so many loops on your hook. I have 8, so I'm good to go. Yarn over, pull through all 8, chain 1. And you can see that chain 1 becomes the center for all these circles. So you don't want to do that too tight because you have to put 7 double crochets in that on the next row. Okay, so I'll keep going with a slip stitch in the side of that last double crochet, single crochet in that same stitch as the last double crochet, single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then we'll do one more valley, chain 2, insert the hook in the second chain and pull up a loop, insert in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I've got my 8. Yarn over, pull through all 8. Chain 1. Slip stitch in the side of the last double crochet. And then single crochet in the same stitch as the last double crochet. And then I need 2 more single crochets, one in that stitch and then one in the chain 3. And that'll want to stick out, but if you stretch it, it'll make it nice and flat. And then again, you'll put a border on here, most likely, so that'll even it all out. So one thing to note as you're going through this to make sure you've got everything lined up, the 3 single crochets that are at the top of the hill should always be in the 3 double crochets that are in the middle of the 7 that are in the hill below it. That way you're always in the center. Okay, so let me show you one more row because the repeat is rows 2 through 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to row 5. So I'll keep that same color and I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then we'll do a hill. So again, we do 3 loops in a row here across the 3 stitches, including the center of the valley below. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. And do 5 double crochets in that same center. We'll connect the last double crochet to this chain 2 right here. So yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop. Insert your hook through the next chain there and pull up a loop, and then pull that same loop through the next 2 loops. Insert your hook in the next chain, pull up a loop, and then pull that straight through the next 2 loops. So that connects your double crochet there. 3 single crochets. And then we'll do a hill again. So pull up 3 loops in the next 3 stitches, including the center. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. Five double crochets. I need one more. Makes 5. And then the last one, the 7th one, we want to connect to the chains that are right here, these 2 loops. Yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop. Put the hook through the chain and pull up a loop, and then pull that through 2 loops. Insert your hook in the next chain, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. Single crochet in the next 3. Make another hill. I need to connect my last double crochet to this chain 2. And then single crochet in the last 2 single crochets. So there you have it. That is the Catherine wheel stitch modified so that you don't have big gaps. And to keep going, you just repeat rows 2 through 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you'll come back and have another valley right here. And so that way you can make whatever you want. So the last stitch, or the last row that you would want to do, is one of the flat rows, which would be either 2 or 4, because those would be flat and not bumpy. So you can make whatever you want with the Catherine wheel stitch. If you learned something today, please like and share this video. And if you'd like to see future videos from me, please make sure that you are following me and subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.